Alright everybody, so I am back today to talk about a TV show, and the entire first season of this TV show has aired, and so I felt like I'd get on here and kind of give my general thoughts about it. I'm not going to go into like episode by episode breakdown because just go watch the show at that point, but the show I'm going to be talking about today is House of the Dragon. The reign of House Targaryen begins with the prequel to the popular HBO series Game of Thrones. Based on the George R.R. Martin novel Fire and Blood, House of the Dragon is set nearly 200 years before the events of Game of Thrones, telling the story of the Targaryen Civil War with King Viserys Targaryen's children battling for control of the Iron Throne. So Game of Thrones is an entertaining TV show that a lot of people loved, that they hated the way that it ended, and so HBO decided we're going to try it again with a different show. I decided to watch this TV show because why not? I enjoy fantasy, I enjoy dragons, and so I decided to jump in and watch the first season, and I will say it is an entertaining show that has a lot of flaws. I don't think that it's not nearly as entertaining as Game of Thrones, but there is enough to it that makes it entertaining enough. So obviously you have King Viserys, who is played by Paddy Considine, who is probably one of the best characters in the entire show. You have, at the beginning of the show, it's him and his wife, and he has a young daughter named Rhaenyra, and he is trying to have a son so that his son can take the Iron Throne once he passes away. Well, all of these things happen in the first several episodes to where it doesn't seem like he's going to be able to have a son, so he ends up naming Rhaenyra the heir to the throne for when he passes away, which it's unheard of for a king to name a woman to be the heir to the Iron Throne, while at the same time, Rhaenyra's best friend, Alicent Hightower, her father, who is the hand of the king, is trying to get her pledged to marry Viserys so that she can be a part of this house and have leadership in the Iron Throne. And so you have a lot of tension between those two characters. You have King Viserys' brother, played by Matt Smith, who is like one of the best characters in the show. He is just so over the top and insane. The TV show really for the first season is just people battling it out to try to get in line for the Iron Throne. And it's really entertaining. I will say probably my favorite part of this season was the first 3 or 4 episodes where you had Rhaenyra and Alicent's character as young women. The actresses, especially Millie Alcock, who played Rhaenyra, was absolutely incredible. She did such an amazing job, and her chemistry with Paddy Considine and Matt Smith, they did such an amazing job. And the show decides to do something that I haven't seen in a TV show prior, where it's consistently doing these time jumps. Like 3 episodes in a row, like one you jumped forward 6 years, once you jump forward another couple of years, and it was almost like the showrunners were like, okay, we just don't have anything to say, so we're gonna jump forward this immense amount of time in the future. And I don't know, like the time jump was incredibly jarring, and they spent episodes just trying to introduce these new characters that you'd never seen before, and they didn't really do a good job expositionally saying, okay, X, Y, and Z person is this, this, and this, which if you're familiar with Game of Thrones, there's 90 million characters in that TV show, and so this didn't make it any easier to sit down and try to figure out like who's who, what are they doing, what is their motive, what are they trying to accomplish. And I will say in the final 2 episodes of the season, they did a better job of kind of wrapping it up in the time period that they're in and kind of building you up for where the second season is going to go, which I was incredibly appreciative of. I felt like the like I said, the first 3 or 4 episodes were really great. Then they did the time jump, and I felt like it was really messy. And the last 2 episodes were really solid. It had everything that Game of Thrones had great suspense, really amazing performances from the cast, and I really am invested and excited to see what happens in the second season. I had some qualms with some of the cinematography in this show. There's some moments that are really dark where it's almost like I'm squinting at my TV to even be able to see what's going on, and I have a pretty big HD TV, so it's like weird for me to where it's like so dark I can't make out what's going on the screen. And I don't know if that's just the transfer from when they shoot it for the show onto the TV, but it wasn't really well done. There's a couple of moments with costume designing in this where the wigs look really cheap, and for an HBO show that has a ton of money, it's kind of surprising to see that. But obviously the costume design, I love the look of the dragons in the show. There's a lot to really appreciate, and I think there's a lot of really amazing performances, and obviously it's only the first season, so trying to judge the whole show and where it's going to go is relatively silly. But I will say that the show is enjoyable enough to watch. I think it's entertaining and fun, and it's good enough to sit down and watch. But I will let you know that those 3 episodes in the middle of the season with time jump craziness, it gets a little out of control to where I was just like, let's keep it in one time, please. I'm old and it's hard enough for me to keep up with this. But other than that, it's an enjoyable show that I definitely think you should check out. Have you seen House of the Dragon? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Leave me a comment down below and let me know what you thought. I thought the first season was entertaining. I'm looking forward to see where it goes. As always, if you can like the video and subscribe to the channel, it helps me out a lot and lets me know the type of content you're looking for. I'm always putting out new material and look forward to getting more out for you in the near future. And as always, everyone, thank you so much for watching and have a great rest of your day.